Is this even working? All right. I guess the only way to get through this is to get to it is to go through it. Whatever. Anyway, this is about as good as the audio is going to get for the time being. Now, I usually would use this, which is a condenser mic and objectively better audio, but there's some kind of internal issue that causes feedback or some weird internal noise thing, which I cannot solve, and I would probably waste a week or two on it and not record anything. Anyways, so you have crappy webcam audio, so that's what I'm doing. And hopefully this won't suck too bad. And let's see. All right. Because I got so many comments from all over the place. Okay, comments, verbal comments. My apparently my cam is not mirrored. Okay, so verbal comments, people in IRL in my real life, neighbors, friends and family, people that know me, about the music I listened to this year. Probably because I think people are fed up with a lot of music in general these days, and they usually only listen to oldies or apparently K-pop Demon Hunters, which, by the way, I do have a list. I do actually have stuff from KDA, which is from League of Legends, in this list. But that's not the main reason I'm here to. So I could break this up. I've been wanting to do this video since like June or July, and I just haven't been able to get to it. There's so obviously I play Pokemon Go. I played Mega Raid Day today, which was good. I thought it was a good event. A bunch of people showed up to play, including people we didn't even invite or remind because apparently Mega Metagross is the thing that people want to raid for. Metagross in general is good, so Mega probably even better. I've heard some people complaining that it's not as good, but anyway, while I'm here, so one thing I have been thinking about doing for like all year, probably even since last year, the music artist, whatever you want to call it, my favorite ever is Blümchen, which she does have stuff in English, which is fine, but her stuff in German is better. I was a huge fan of Blümchen in the 90s and the 2000s, and I still love her. I also, see if I can pull up her Instagram real quick, just gonna mention it. There she is. And I just love everything she does. This is not a Blümchen video. I thought about doing, because okay, most people who listen to Blümchen don't necessarily even speak German. Like, I can speak German. I don't think it's that good, but I can speak German. And I consume lots of media. Well, that's a subjective term. Uh, in German still. Usually it's like German, not like outside of Germany, but I have. Um, Also, that's another, we can get into a topic about that, but let's not. So the two main things that I was listening to this year, well, there was other things as well earlier this year. There's so many things I could talk about. The two main things I wanted to talk about here was the stuff I was listening to that I was getting compliments on, and I got lots of compliments on. So I listened to a lot of techno, especially 90s techno, especially from Europe. So think Eurodance techno and happy hardcore. But I also listened to EBM, and I love happy hardcore. I love Eurodance. I like high energy, including the Eurodance version and the more 80s-ish sounding. And and then of course there's trance music or dream house. And so I do have my, like, if you go on Spotify. I still have my old profile, which I got back, even though like I got screwed through Facebook, and that's a whole long story or whatever. And I have some playlists. It doesn't actually show everything, although some. Oh, maybe it does now. Here's a Blümchen list right here. Yes, can you see? Yes, you can see. Here, let's do that. Let's fix this right here. There we go. All right. Apparently, I've been listening to Loreena McKennet, which a number of my artist friends love and adore. If you've never heard of Loreena McKennet, you could type that in and you could look that up yourself. The idea that there are people on this planet, we have billions of people and all kinds of music out there, and you've never heard of like Loreena McKennet, I'm just like, how? How do you not know that? Okay, so back, well, I have listened to quite a lot of stuff this year. Okay, but trying to stay focused, Candace, stay focused. I was listening to a lot of techno stuff, and I have a very old, it's right here actually. I have this is an old playlist that I made back in the 90s. I have a whole story as to that. And you don't have to be high or stoned to listen to this. But that's another story that I won't be mentioning. I could, but I don't want to get in trouble for any reason. And believe it or not, like certain kinds of techno, some of this is kind of trancey, and well, it depends on what you mean by trance. A lot of this music is by Scooter, right here. I love Scooter. In fact, I went to several Pokemon Go events, including Go Fest this year, and people noticed the music I was listening to. This one guy was like, "Oh my God, are you playing Scooter?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Um, so this is a playlist that I have had that I have also added to. There's some other stuff in here. There's some like inspirational stuff. This has to do with some art stuff, but I also like kind of meditate to it. Only it's way more upbeat. And yes, you can be sober and listen to this. Not saying anything else about that. But if you, I probably put this link in the description of my video. And as you can say, it has obviously the title here, and this is like my artwork. I should probably show this artwork because why the heck not? Since I'm on the topic. Um, Please don't spam me. And I have it's just this all freaking spam in here. I have a lot of jerks, spammers, whatever. I don't read my messages. That was like the one way you could definitely get a hold of me, and now it's just all spam, never ending bots. Alright, so gallery. Here we go. So let me just pull this up. Where is it? You know what? I think I have a dragon gallery. Probably. Because whatever. Yes. Okay. So this was sort of inspired by. Is the link here? There should be a link here. This. No, that's not it. I'm very good about citing my sources. Okay, so this is the book. Oh, maybe that's it. Please tell me it's there. No, they changed the frickin' cover. Oh, did she actually like update the book perhaps? You know what? Never mind. Forget I mentioned it. There was artwork on the cover by this person from a book in the 80s, 90s, and I did my own version of it. And this is the original version I did in pencil, graphite pencil, various graphite pencils. And this is this is like the mixed media version I did with pastel, ink, etc. Just thought I'd mention it. So, because art and music and whatever, I don't know, apparently people are interested in my artwork lately. Okay. So there's lots and lots of songs here by Scooter. I have a whole story about this. Spring break, 1998. That's a long story, including I got beat up. One is we don't have to get into it. We don't have to get into it. Um, it's an interesting story though. And so, yeah, the scooter stuff. I do also have songs here by Absalom. It's a very 1988 Antelope. And apparently I have Schiller in here. And so that is some of the techno, like old school 90s and maybe early 2000s techno. Very German centric because it's the best. Dutch people don't come for me. Anyway, there's lots of really good music all over Europe from the 90s and the 2000s, and probably even to this day. Um, so what else? Since I'm on this 90s thing, okay, so there is a series franchise called Macross. Then there's also the Robotech version, which is the same thing but isn't the same thing. Don't come for me, fanboys. Okay, Robotech fanboys. Like it is, but it isn't. Okay, and that's all I want to say about that. You can read all the geeky, nerdy fandom stuff you want. Anyway, moving along. Back in the 90s, um, they had there was a mini series. So this is the cool thing. Macross Anything and Everything, as well as Robotech, is the retelling of the same story in a different way, including remixing. So they have a mini-series version, which is 4 parts, called Macross Plus, and then there's the movie version, right? Or I think it's OVA, right? Movie version, which is a continuation of the Macross story stuff, right? But in a different, like, even more futuristic timeline. And the music there's so many soundtracks to Macross Plus. It was one of the most popular things. And highly sought after things in the Napster days. And I think people who had those tracks realized it because it would sort of slow down your internet in the dial-up days if you had dial-up. And I noticed that whenever I had like these songs especially, or any Macross songs listed in Napster, that's the only thing that people were like downloading from me. And it could clog up all of the internet. It was a problem when I was in college and I was sharing internet with people. Anyway, I have a playlist here that is so this Information High is a techno song. It is a techno song, but everything else in here, this was sent to you, Asayen, have a very like Ghost in the Shell, kind of old Ghost in the Shell kind of vibe to it, like sort of tribal meets like I don't know Android, whatever. And this is another playlist that's based on my old playlist. I used to have like CD-ROMs that I burned or MP3 lists or whatever. And I found that they have these songs available now because all the lawsuits are settled a few years ago because there was a lot of Robotech Macross lawsuits and streaming and platforms and licensing. I don't even want to get into it. Like it's not worth not worth talking about unless you really want to know. And so now they're finally on Spotify. And yes, I know there are people who hate Spotify for lists of reasons, stacks of reasons, and I am aware of those, so you don't have to like write me an essay about it because I've probably already read essays about it for years. Yeah, so Macross, Scooter, and then of course, then there's the stuff, big time that I was listening to. So if you have never heard of Enigma, It's Time You Did. This is like so weird to me, like people who have never heard of Enigma, but they might know like Return to Innocence, okay? Which I highly recommend the video because it's weird and it's like avant-garde and it has unicorns in it. And apparently Eon Bites is live, whatever. Okay, so what you can do is when you're on Spotify, when you go to the artists page, it's funny how we call them all artists now and they're not called musicians anymore or whatever. I guess we're all artists now. Okay, we're all artists. Anyways, if you go to albums, right, go to show all, it will usually start with the newest album first, but what you can do is reverse it. Start with the very first album, click play, and then it will play everything. It is such amazing work of musical art. It is a favorite of mine. I especially love the first 3 albums, this album, and this album. But I must also say this is pretty good. I tend to really like the 90s stuff, but I've listened to all of it and I have to tell you it's pretty good. If you like Enigma, because every time I play this music, people go, wow, this music is so good. I like your music lately. It's usually Enigma. You'll probably also like this guy, Shinnobu. Okay. This guy, I remember this was a project. I think it's a guy. I'm sorry if I misgendered you. This guy, person, artist, whatever, they, them, whoever, whatever. Oh, looks like they have some new stuff. Okay. This was a project I used to just frequently find on YouTube at first. And then I found out, oh, they're on Spotify. If you like, especially the old 90s, like the first 2 albums of Enigma, you will love Shinobu's stuff. And again, go to albums here. Go to, especially if you go show all, and then go to, here we go. Start from the older stuff, right? Here he goes. It's pretty obvious that they're very much a super fan of Enigma. Huge fan of Enigma. If you go on YouTube and type in like Shinobu, the Enigma Project or whatever, say the Enigma 7, their Enigma 8, there are lots of these. You can also find it on YouTube. There are even like very, very long videos of playlists of just a continuous video. Oh, look, we have it in Russian. That's interesting. I actually haven't listened to every single thing he's done because this guy apparently does a ton of. He's very inspired all the time. But it's really good. So the end, going back to Enigma, if you like Enigma, especially those first 2 albums, because it seems like everybody loves those first. I would say the 3rd album is very good. It's extremely good. They're really, really good. So here they are. 1, 2, 3. These 3 albums, the first 3 albums of Enigma, are fantastic. Also, the main guy whose project this is, his wife worked on it, Sandra. She was a huge star, like synth pop music star in the 80s and early 90s. Her vocals are also on this play. I think they're not together anymore, but she's oftentimes listed in the credits. And so let's see. Obviously they're going to have Enya as fans also like. Let me see what else comes up. Okay, Sacred Spirit, you'll probably really like that. These are all good. Robert Miles, especially Children, the album versions and the single versions. But I especially recommend, he had different styles that he played with. He passed away, but he is considered the originator of what today is called trance music. Back then, it was called Dream House. Here it is. I have this album. Everybody I have gifted this to loved it. And even my dad, when I play this, like he will fall asleep because it's relaxing. He created this album in Italy because I think it's similar to like the Autobahn where there's no speed limit. Everybody liked going to raves and clubbing, and they really like fast music, like in Germany, Italo dance. Okay, and people would go a lot too crazy at night, and they would crash their cars from drinking and whatever else. They were partying hard and going nuts. And so he created this album for people to listen to on the drive home so that they would calm down. And this is a favorite of mine. I have to say this album here. Oh, this one says Remember Robert Miles. Hold on, let me see. This isn't the album. The original. Here we go. This is the album. Dreamland. This is the original album. Right here. This is a fabulous, fabulous album. And I will also recommend Waterbone right here. These albums. So there's the Orion Prophecy and Tibet. And I believe is it the Hymn to Isis or something? Forget which one. There are songs in these albums that are just so freaking good. This in the 90s, this kind of stuff was considered like alternative, but not like grunge alternative. And then there is the one that I have been really into this year, which I've always liked, and that is Schiller. Hold on, that's a typo right there. And I love this guy's work. I love all of this guy's work. I have to be honest, I am not a fan of his first album. It is not my favorite. It's so not interesting to me that I tend to skip it, and I think I've only listened to it once or twice. He has so much stuff. Alright, let's I'm just gonna go through the albums right here. This is Show All. Alright, let's go with in reverse. Okay, so this is Zeitgeist. Oh, by the way, he's German. He also will have English versions of some of his albums, probably for marketing reasons. His older stuff has more of that like trance, dream house, electronic vibe, fantasy, and it's very similar in a lot of ways to Enigma. When you get to this one, Weltreise means like world travel. Weltreise is a masterpiece work. I freaking love it, and there's an English version of it, Voyage, which means the same thing. And then this is another one, Leben, means like life or living. And then he has his live stuff also good. Here you go, yeah, the English version, Life, Leben, same thing. Although there are sometimes differences in the tracks in the different albums, like the English version of the album and the German version of the album. Sometimes it's the same track, or it's like slightly mixed differently, or it's completely different lyrics and a completely different rendition of the songs. There's no Prologue, Tag und Nacht, or say your day and night, same freaking thing. Sehnsucht means like searching. There you go. There's the live version, and then you start to get so now we're in the 20 teens. Things start changing, and then as he starts going, because this is a guy who loves music, art. Okay, so with Schiller loves certain kinds of unique vocals, and then even like he has Despina Vandy is like one of my favorite Greek singers. She has a very distinct voice, but when he gets her to sing on his tracks, he has her sing in this more like breathy kind of voice, and he has a way of choosing singers a lot of times for more ASMR reasons. However, there's the one chick who's done like so many songs with him. I can't think of her name at this second. It's like all my favorite. You know what? Let me go to my playlist. I have my playlist, which is right here. As you can see, my favorite tracks right here. This one, this one, this one. There are also videos of this stuff. Okay, Kim Sanders. Every freaking track with Kim Sanders. Kim Sanders has like this amazing classical singer voice, but also pop singer ish. Fantastic. And then he does a lot of, he's done a number of songs with Hepner, and Hepner, I freaking love it. They're so freaking emo. They're so emo, but I just something about his voice. Yeah. So this is my playlist with Schiller. I'll probably add these tracks into it. So here where's the, don't I have this Mina Vandy? Here we go. Here we go. This Mina Vandy, and I thought I had another track of her up in here. I don't know. It's around here somewhere. Whatever. There's so much to like about Schiller. This is a very long playlist. And then of course, stuff I listen to when because I've been painting a lot lately. It's mostly songs by Erasure. Almost entirely by Erasure. But I have some like other, like I have Solace in here, and I have R&B and some Scooter stuff apparently, for my painting stuff. But it's mostly Scooter, especially this album. It's called I Say, I Say, I Say, which I think is a play on a Paul McCartney song. And then there's this other self-titled album called Erasure. And then there's other stuff that I listen to, which I have other playlists because my friend died and he does weird, wacky things. In fact, his birthday is this month. He passed away not this January, but last January in 2024. And he has a way of doing like interesting, quirky things, especially with music. His music was more than a popular, like it was way more than everybody loves music. Music with David was this like other thing, like beyond. And I have quite a number of playlists on that. That is some interesting stuff. But I thought I would vlog about some of my music stuff. And then I don't want to show my I do have a Last FM, but I don't want to show the name of it because I don't want to get spammed on there. And if I don't want to be found, I don't use the same name as here. And I don't feel like setting it up so that I can like censor that at the second. Anyway, hopefully that is enough for now. I just wanted to keep it like I didn't want to have it like too info dump-ish, like here's all the stacks of stuff I've been doing. I mostly just wanted to keep it at like some 90s techno, like Scooter, and yeah, the trancey, like down-tempo stuff like Enigma, Schiller, and the other stuff I mentioned. There's other ones that I could also mention that are like I did mention Waterbone. I didn't mention Angels of Venice. I think that's good too. There's this one album that's kind of like dark-ish that was super good. I freaking love it. But I might as well. I just brought it up. Angels of Venice. Right here. Okay. It's this album. It's especially the song like Sins of Salome, but the whole album is like I don't know, it has this like dark, like dreamy, I don't know. It says awake inside of a dream, but it has like it's like how Enigma will like examine the darker sides of things while also like going through like I guess spirituality type themes and dreamy ideas and stuff. And this is so good. And now that we're in fall, autumn, whatever, this is probably more the kind of music I listen to at the moment, is like on this sort of dark, gothic kind of emo, whatever. So there's that. Bye.